What's up happening, y'all? Wanted to take a quick second to talk about our subscriber goal right now. If we hit 5,000 YouTube subscribers by November 1st, we're going to dye our hair green, white, and red, the colors of the Mexican flag. So subscribe, hit the bell icon, share us with your friends.
What's happening for today's Patreon shout out? We have our Jaritos over here. We have Daria, Kareem, Imperium Sloth, Veronica Lopez, aka Meredith Your Boob Is Out, Eddie Bravo, Angela Mezqua, owner and operator of Legacy Teas and Spices, Nia Town, Izzy Sandoval, Not Mitch, Aparni Ronnie, and Aztec God. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. By the way, who is Mitch? And welcome back to Isimo Podcast.
Isimo Podcast.
My name is Fat Clayton Kershaw.
I'm Dominic Angel, aka Cholo Baggins. What's up, fool?
I'm Pac-Man.
And who are you?
The Mariachi Dodger.
The Mariachi Dodger. We're joined again with my Tio Jorge, aka Ben Affleck Lover for Life on AIM.
Ben Affleck.
We are here back at the ranch. I have a wig on. I'm either Fat Clayton Kershaw or a fucking white girl that loves the Dodgers.
An ugly white girl that likes the Dodgers.
Clayton Kershaw, more like ton of Clay Kershaw. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking asshole. I'm Fat Clayton Kershaw. I'm on the DL. You know what I mean? The disabled list.
You look like Clayton Kershaw after the Astros won.
Yeah.
That fool just let it go.
Yeah, he just started drinking a lot. What's it called? Ryan, how long did it take you to make your costume?
Like make it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was mostly shopping. Like these are oven mitts.
10 minutes, fool.
10 minutes. Yeah, give me some time.
Jesus Christ.
I glued the stickers onto the glasses.
Oh, okay.
And I brought pellets.
Oh, they're called pellets that he eats?
Yeah.
That's what everybody calls them.
That's what everyone calls them.
Dots. I don't know.
I never really talked to people about Pac-Man too much, so I don't know what they call them.
That's all this fool's going to be doing the whole
How many different noises does Pac-Man make?
Like 3.
What are they?
There's when he's moving, it's like
Yeah.
and then once he eats like a fruit, it goes.
Oh, I didn't hear that one yet.
And then when he gets bitten, he goes.
That was pretty good, right?
That's pretty good. Let's try it.
Everyone at the same time. What's it called? First of all, sorry, we haven't been posted an episode for like 2 weeks. So if you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram at IsimoPod. Call us, leave us a voicemail at 920-474-6644. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and comment on the video, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe to our Spotify.
Yeah. Also, just real quick, we still are doing our Patreon, we have a Patreon challenge where we get to 100 patrons. We're going to do a live show with all of us. And we have a subscriber challenge going on right now. If we reach 5,000 subscribers, we're very close. Keep hitting that subscribe button. We're going to all dye our hair green, white, and red, the colors of the Mexican flag.
Yeah.
There you go. And
what?
It's been 2 days since the Dodgers beat the Giants. And we got to call him out. What's his name?
Imperium Slav.
There you go. Who's your daddy? The Dodgers. Go Dodgers.
My uncle has a fucking vendetta against Imperium Slav.
Nah, not a vendetta. Don't make me sound. You make me sound like the enemy. You tell me. And I don't really hate Matt Damon. I just don't like him. Hate's a powerful word.
Yeah.
But Imperial Sloth, we got you.
Yeah, Imperium Sloth on the Discord is a huge Giants fan. And I always forget whenever I put Dodger Love up there. This fool's the first one to respond to some Giants fucking memes. And I hate it. I don't know how do you guys like the Dodgers at all?
I mean, I like the Dodgers as much as I like, being from LA. Like,
what about you?
I used to be like super into them when I was like a little kid. My dad would take me to a lot of games. Oh yeah, can you hear me there? That one's mine, actually.
There you go.
There it is.
But what happened?
Hold on.
Give us sound effects.
This fool.
Oh, he has gloves under the gloves.
This motherfucker.
Yeah. He was prepared.
If you're audio only listening, Ryan just took off red gloves to expose more red gloves.
With fingers.
With fingers, yeah. So what were you saying?
What were we saying? Oh, yeah. We used to go, not like every game, but there was a short while when I was like in middle school. We went to a bunch of games that year.
Yeah.
I used to wear a sweater because I thought it was good luck. And then it kept getting bleached, so my mom threw it out. And the last game I ever went to was the day she threw it out.
Yeah.
Or the week she threw it out. And they lost, and I felt really bad. I thought it was my fault.
Oh, my God. Wow. Superstition, dude. Which brings us to today's episode. Today's episode is about spooky shit. Today's episode is about, scary stories.
Halloween.
And my uncle, he was already been fucking chewing my ear off with a bunch of scary ass shit that I hate scary stories. I was born in October. My birthday's coming up. My birthday's October 21st.
Everybody comment, happy birthday, Gerardo.
Yeah, everyone comment.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
To the ugly white girl that likes the Dodgers.
What's it called? Say happy birthday, Big Sexy, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast.
There you go.
But my uncle was telling me all these stories about. I never liked scary stories. I don't know how you guys feel about scary stories.
Because I was a very anxious person growing up, so I'd always freak out.
Yeah.
About scary stories, but I still liked hearing them.
Yeah.
When I was really little. Between a toddler until I was 5, I was super into horror movies.
Yeah.
And then I kind of grew out of that. I developed a bunch of irrational fears because of horror movies.
Yep.
So I'm still kind of into them, but I get a lot more freaked out now.
What about you, Dominic?
Man, I'll make it look like I don't give a shit about scary stories. I'll be like, oh yeah, cool, dude. And then later on when I'm by myself and I'm laying in bed at night, I'm like, what
it hits you.
Fuck, I'm always looking over my shoulder. I have all the windows closed.
You know what I hate about scary stories, and my uncle will probably do this too, is when people are like, no, it's not a joke. This is real. It's like, okay, fool, what the fuck? It's a story, dog.
It happens in the Latino community. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Tell us something
crazy.
Do you want to drop us off with a fucking little story here?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. I don't know. You guys are too young to have a mother, probably like I had.
Yeah.
Like my mother. My mother's 90 years old. Okay, and
old school.
She's old school. Yeah, and her way of raising us was great. I loved it and all that. She would discipline us and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, she would use, not say religion or anything like that, but she knew she made us grow, kind of religious and go to church and stuff like that, which is cool. I like that. I still do. I'll go, and but she would take it a little too far sometimes, just to make a point.
Yeah.
And for an example, like I really think my mom missed her calling, because she used to work for factories and stuff like that, and then she took care of us, but she would have made a great detective for the LAPD or something. Because,
no, she would throw them off the trailway.
No, for real. Listen, it's a trip, but listen, she had this power over me, my brothers and stuff like that. I just remember, this is personally for me, because I was kind of a troublemaker when I was young.
Oh, you still are.
So I used to always get into all kinds of shit, and she knew it, and when a little kid is lying to you, you actually know. And what I see nowadays, parents say, I don't believe you. You're lying to me. You're punished, right? Mm-hmm. So the kid is like, oh, at least I didn't confess or whatever. So there's a little doubt there, nowadays. Not my mom. My mom she knew you did it.
Yeah.
And she'll scold you for it. And then she'll look at you dead in the eye and everything. And mind you, I'm 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
And she'll look at you and she'll say, look, tell me the truth. And then she'll stop you before you even lie to her. Mm-hmm. She'll stop you and say, stop. Before you say anything, I'm going to tell you something. If you lie to me, the ground's going to open up and it's going to fucking swallow you. Okay? The devil's going to take your ass if you lie to me. And you're 6 years old. You're like, what the hell? You're like, you gave it up like that. You're like, no, I did this, I did that. She'll get the whole truth out of you. Like, that's what I'm saying. She had that ability. And I could just see her, you know, with the worst gangbanger in LA.
Yeah.
You know, and when it's time to confess, she'd be like, they're gonna swallow your ass and you don't fucking tell me the truth right now. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, she was,
ruthless.
Exactly. My mom, she made you confess.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I mean when I say she used the power of religion over you, because, you know, I do believe, when I was younger, I believed that there was a devil.
Yeah.
You know, and I still believe that, but I don't believe it as in he's a form, like a person or anything like that. I believe now, the older I get, that all of us, inside of us, every single person on this planet has inside something evil that can come out.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? No. I mean, we have good and evil in all of us. It's just something. It's like nature, you know. And thank God that there's good overdoes evil millions of times over. You know what I mean? But you know, like, you got the people that kill people and stuff like that. That to me is evil, and that to me is an act of evil. And it always goes back to the devil. Like, so in a way, we all have a little devil inside of us, but we don't want to let him out, you know, for no reason. You know, some people just lose it. I think that's our devil.
That's my street name, Little Devil.
Yeah. Little Devil's your street.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, no, it's. I mean, growing up like that, thinking like that, you think of you know, and then when I was a teenager, I was telling you earlier, I was the type of guy that didn't believe in stuff. You know, I didn't believe in ghosts, and I would hear all these stories. But you know, when we see a scary movie, like you were talking about movies earlier, horror movies to me, I can handle all day long. Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, all those, because you're actually seeing a person that's fictional. Yeah, and it's a movie. You know what I mean? It's just like anything, Superman, Batman, whatever. It's just a scary, you know, a shocking movie, you know?
A scary white man.
But as soon as you add but yeah, exactly. As soon as you add a priest, or religion, or the devil, and this and that, I'm like, I don't want any part of that shit. Yeah. You know, like The Exorcist.
Yeah. Olvídate,
fuck that shit. You know? that movie till this day, I have not seen the whole thing. Yeah. As soon as she starts jumping on the bed and shit, I'm like, turn that shit off. Yeah. Like, I'm done.
Dude, Mexicans and The Exorcist, fool, they swear that shit's a documentary, dog.
Till this day, I think that's the scariest damn thing, and I haven't finished it. Yeah. I get into it probably an hour into it, and when she starts jumping on that bed, fuck that. I'm done with this movie, you know. And I've tried it over and over with friends and stuff. Can't get past that scene.
Because I was saying, like, I'm still kind of into horror movies, but to be honest, I'm like, nowadays I'm kind of picky about horror movies I like. Like, after the first one, I stopped watching paranormal. Like, well, I mean, I watched like up to part 3, and then I was like, this is just the same shit over and over. Yeah, really boring.
I like how the Paranormal Activities eventually led to some Mexican food, because that's all the people that were watching those movies.
That was pretty funny.
I love the Paranormal Activity movies.
Because you get guys. It was funny because I had friends, like white friends, who were like, "Why the fuck? Why is it going this way?" And I was like, "Because we're the only ones watching it." Like, but like all my Mexican friends, like, that's pretty tight that they put us in there.
Yeah, I love those movies because it's just fucking white people having the worst days of their lives. Yeah, that's what it was in
the beginning. No, the one that kind of freaked me out recently, a few years ago, was called the Wrong Way. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
No, I never heard of that.
About a couple that was driving in somewhere in the Alabamas or in the South somewhere, and they took the wrong way, you know, the street, and they wound up where there was like hillbilly cannibals.
Oh, Wrong Turn?
And the Wrong Turn. Yeah, Wrong Turn. That's what it was called.
The Wrong Way is by Sublime.
And
nothing scary about that.
That movie, because we did a road trip. You know, after we seen that movie, we did a road trip, and we were over there. We were in North Carolina, and there was a lot of those, like, you know, which way, that way, you know. Yeah. And I kept thinking about that. It was freaking me out. And I told Denise, I was like, remember that movie we saw? And this is where the hillbillies are, you know, like the cannibal hillbillies, you know, like, what the hell?
Whenever I travel, if there's too many white people around, I get really nervous. I watch my P's and Q's.
So, What is your favorite spooky story of all time, Jorge?
I can tell you what's happened to me. You know what I mean?
They were telling me earlier that their old house in Rancho Cucamonga was haunted, and I didn't know that. And I used to go there every fucking day after school.
I wouldn't say haunted. I mean, there's been a lot of stories that came out already.
Yeah.
But I've always suspected something, but I didn't want to think about it. It was that bad.
I never bought a house before, but when you buy a house, you've bought like 3 or 4 houses now, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you buy a house, is that a question you ask the realtor? Like, did somebody fucking die here?
I mean, they're supposed to tell you that.
It's a requirement.
Oh,
yeah, it's a requirement.
It's a requirement when you buy or sell a house. The person selling has to inform you.
But there has to be a loophole around that.
I mean, the loophole is like that sometimes they sell cheaper, but they have to be like upfront about it.
But anyway, it doesn't matter if somebody dies in there. I mean, just because that person died doesn't mean it's haunted, you know?
Hey, it fucking matters, dude.
Yeah. No, but still, that house in Rancho, the problem was, okay, you know, I always had my cousin Isabel come over and stuff like that. And
she's fucking demented, apparently.
Yeah. Well, she has her issues with
she used to mess with Ouija
scary
boards.
stuff, yeah. But anyway, she would spend the night with her kids and her husband and stuff like that. We'd have a good time. You know, we had a pool and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when we sold the house, apparently she told Denise, "I'm so happy you guys sold that house." And Denise is like, "Why? You know?" Because she's like, "Because my kids swear that they would see people at night running around the house and everything." And it freaked Denise out because she would see that too, but she wouldn't tell me because she knows I'm kind of a scaredy cat, you know.
Also, Denise is your wife.
My wife, exactly, yeah. And so she told Isabel, my cousin, said, you know, oh my God, you know, I've seen that too, and your kid seen it. So it was like, you know, and I never seen nothing personally, but I remember because she used to go to work early before me, and then my son Robert and my daughter Heather, they would go to school early. So I would sit there, have coffee in the living room, watch the news. But I remember in the mornings, I would hear boom, 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 like somebody was upstairs. Everything. And that was my cue. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I was like, it was just, I was like, you know, I'm out. And we never talked about it. But when we sold the house, everybody that used to visit us and stuff, they all had this weird, you know, vibe about that house. Yeah. They're like, yeah, we're so happy. I was like, what the hell? So the noises I was hearing, you know, I mean, it was unexplainable stuff.
But to be honest, if I was a ghost way, you would scare me.
I was scared.
Nah. You scared the ghost away?
Yeah. No, and that was here in Rancho. I remember when I was like 19 years old, and this is my personal thing, okay? Like I said, when I was in my teens, I didn't believe in ghosts. Yeah. People used to tell me stories. They're like, oh, you're full of shit, this and that. So I went to my hometown of Tepatitlán, Jalisco.
Yeah.
You know, for 2 weeks. And my motive was to go down there and party with my cousins, you know? So I went to my aunt's house, and they had this big house. And they would always give everybody that visit them the back, like a guest room that was behind the kitchen all the time. And they had a nice shower and everything. So I was cool. I settled in. I was in there and everything. And then I would go out with my cousins and come back. So it became a routine. I'd go out and party and stuff. And then they had this massive like queen bed. They had old pine wood headboards, front board, everything. It was a heavy bed. So every time I would come back at 1 a.m, midnight or whatever, I'm the type of guy that wants to take a shower at night all the time, no matter what time it is. So I would go to the shower, and I would see that the bed was too close to the dresser, so it was kind of in my way, and I would notice that it was about 6 inches from the wall, 6-7 inches from the wall. And I'm thinking, that's weird. It wasn't like that in the morning, whatever. And then right away I was thinking, well, my aunts, they like to clean and stuff, so they probably moved it to sweep or whatever. So you make up your own logic. So what I would do, I would just push it back against the wall where it should be. Took my shower, went to bed, whatever. Got up, did it all over again, came back. Same thing. Exact same 6-7 inches from the wall. And I was like, okay, that's weird. If they cleaned yesterday, I guess they did it today too. So same routine. I pushed it back and took my shower, went to bed, and in the morning I woke up. And I just remember sitting on the edge of the bed, putting my shoes on, and I just glanced. I looked at the headboard. I glanced at it, and it was that far away from the wall in the morning. So I was like, "Holy fucking shit!"
He's like, "They clean at night."
Yeah. No, that's where I was like, "This shit is not cleaning anymore." You know, I was like, "What the fuck happened here?" You know, and so I held my cool. I went to the kitchen.
Imagine if you lost it over that.
My three aunts were in the kitchen, okay? Mm-hmm. And they're old. They're in their 60s, 70s. I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And I just said, "Hey, I want to ask you guys a question." I go, 2 nights in a row, this is what's happened, what I did and everything. And I explained to them what I just told you guys. And the 3 of them looked at me and their just jaws dropped. And
you're the
I was
fucking
like,
devil.
No. And I told them, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, are you guys playing a joke on me or what? You know?" And they're like, "No, but everybody who stays in that room sees something different." I didn't know. Grant you, I didn't know anything about this house. And
fuck that.
And then they started telling me about. There was a priest that didn't stay in that room, but exactly. They went to
you ask, and then there's millions of stories.
Here I am, looking for an explanation. Okay, just give me a logical explanation, and it just got creepier and creepier. I had to stop. I said, "Stop." I said, "Just stop right there." You know, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
But a priest that the bed came out to the courtyard, this and that at night, and it was the devil. And I was all freaked out. And then, so I went to the marketplace where my cousins had little businesses and stuff. And I told them, I said, "Look, this is what happened." And then my aunt started with this. And I don't know if they're fucking with me or what, and their jaws dropped. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know, and they're like, my cousins are telling me that they used to live in the house behind that house, you know. And there was my 2 cousins that were my age at that time, they were 19, 20 years old. They said, we used to have an old lady that used to come into our bedroom at night, you know, and rub our feet.
The fuck?
And it was, they said serious, and they were like serious though. They're like they're not, you can tell they're not fucking with you. They're telling you what they've experienced. They said that when they were like 9 or 10 years old, that this old lady used to come by the bottom of the bed. They used to have twin beds next to each other. And this lady used to rub their feet at night, and it would freak them out, and they would scream. And my uncle would get up all pissed off, walk into the room, and the lady would turn into like gas and go into the ground. And these are my cousins. They're my age, and they're like, "We're not lying to you. We both saw it." And I was like, you guys aren't making it any fucking better. You know, like I'm thinking this whole fucking town is haunted, you know, at this point. And so I asked my uncle, their dad, I said, "Hey, are they fucking with me or are they, you know, no, they used to annoy the shit out of me. I never saw the old lady. But you know what?" He's told me, I sold that house. My uncle said I sold that house to some dude. And he told him about the story about the old lady. That's the only reason he's selling the house, because he wanted to sleep and his kids were keeping him up at night with that bullshit. So he sold the house. The guy bought the house with that story and everything. And he asked my uncle, "Where did your kids see this old lady go into the ground?" Right here. He dug and he found some Spanish gold coins.
Damn, fool, you gotta have some money.
Something I don't know, but it was in that upwards. That my uncle was like, I didn't know that, but I guess there's the stories that, you know, there's ghosts that want to tell you something, and if they have like a routine where they go somewhere or something, that something's there, you know, that they want to give it to you or whatever. So
if there's any ghosts out there that want to show me where some Spanish gold coins are,
you don't need to rub my feet, okay?
Yeah, you don't have to rub my feet. I'm open, dog. Old lady, old man, I don't give a fuck.
So I mean, just weird stuff like that. And then what I experienced in that bed like that, you know, I never felt it move or nothing, but I know I pushed it against the wall. Yeah. And then the next morning, so
she's like, "There's fucking gold down here, bitch. I'm trying to show you."
Come on, fool. She's trying to pull them out by their feet.
Yeah. And then later on in that trip, because after that, hell no was I sleeping in that room.
Yeah.
So I told my cousin, not Felipe, Pablo. I told him I said, you know what? I want to party with you till 3-4 in the morning, and then I'll go sleep wherever, you know, and then wake up in the morning, you know. So we did that. I still had a week to go on vacation there. My uncle started telling me the stories he was encountering, and he said when he was younger, that behind that room I was in, there's a courtyard, and he goes, and the old lady that used to live in the house behind was probably the same old lady that my cousin saw, because she would always clean the courtyard with a broom and stuff, and he loved soccer. He used to go out there and kick the ball around with her, and he said one day he walked into the house, and his mom asked him, "Where were you?" I was with Doña, whatever her name was, and I was playing soccer with her. And his mom told him, "With who?" She died 6 months ago.
The fuck?
So he was playing with a ghost.
What's with this girl and feet?
These ghosts are nice.
This is a nice ghost.
And just stories like that, I was like, I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of that place.
Yeah, gotta get out of Rancho Spooky-Isimo.
Yeah, it was scary. Those are my personal things. That's why I honestly think there is something out there now.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't care to find out what it is. But maybe there is something lingering
in between.
Yeah.
What's it called? You know what's hilarious to me about ghost stories or like seeing anything spooky and you're telling your friends about it is like, if you're a crazy person, then you just tell them, yeah, I saw this thing, you know? But if you consider yourself normal, you have to like fucking preamble this shit. Like, listen, I know this sounds fucking crazy and I'm not schizophrenic, all this stuff. I saw this thing and it was moving this fucking dresser 6 feet, and like, you know, you sound crazy, but you have to tell everyone that you're not crazy, you know?
No, and I got another one for you. When we used to live in Inglewood.
Oh yeah, Inglewood always no good. Yeah,
I think I was like 10 maybe, and my younger brother I was probably 11 and he was like 9. We're 2 years apart, a year and a half apart or whatever. And we always used to share a room in the house in Inglewood. And we had not bunk beds, but twin beds next to each other, and we had a dresser nightstand in the middle of the beds, and we had a little TV, little 19-inch or whatever TV on the dresser. So we used to like sleep on the opposite side of the bed to watch TV. And this was Friday or Saturday night. We didn't have school the next day.
He always remembers the days.
No, yeah.
It was a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what he said. One time he told me about your Doberman that ran away.
Yeah.
And he goes, the first thing he says, he's like, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like it was the worst day of your life. Anyway, sorry. So Friday, Saturday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Taco Tuesday. Yeah.
No, but me and him were having a good time watching. We used to watch WrestleMania and stuff like that and stay up. But we would make a lot of noise. And my mom, you know, she's in the other room and she had it. It was like around 11 o'clock. And she's like, go to sleep. You guys need to go to sleep. And we wouldn't listen. And then she just said, if you don't sleep, the devil's going to take that TV, you know? So we're like, okay, well, it's time to go to sleep. So now
so we don't fuck with the devil.
Like. We're sleeping, right? And so we went the opposite way to sleep because we didn't watch TV. The TV was by our heads, you know, next to each other in between us.
Yeah.
And I remember sleeping, watching the wall, and then you know how you toss over and stuff. I turned at the same time my brother was turning, and I saw him. I was like, I usually see the TV, but I saw his face, and this is not bullshit. I saw his face, and I went like I did this, you know.
Wait, with the other hand.
Yeah, with the other hand, I tried to like where the TV was, you know. The nightstand was there, but there was no TV. And I told my brother Gavi, I go, Gavi, you see the TV? He's like, no, I see you. He just flipped. He turned the other way, and I did turn the other way. I was like, fuck that. We just, you know. It was scary.
Yeah.
So we went to sleep, kind of like a forced sleep. And we woke up in the morning, and the TV was there. I don't know if our mind messed me up, or his. But the thing is, if it was just me thinking that, and he saw the TV, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But both of us, I mean, you can ask him to this day. That day was weird. That day was crazy, and it just went right after my mom said that.
You would think the devil would want you to watch WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of all things. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was the shit. Yeah.
Do you know any ghost stories, Ryan?
Nothing like personal. I know stories that ended up turning out to be like something silly. Like I told it last time, but for the longest time, my mom thought that our house in Baldwin Park was haunted. And one of the things was because she would open the fridge where we kept the peanut butter and open it could be a brand new jar and there'd be like claw marks in it. And it's like, she didn't think it was like a raccoon or anything because it was in the fridge, like on a shelf. And what they had figured out, or nobody had figured this out, but when I was 2, I had figured out, I think from like watching Rugrats, that you could use chairs as ladders.
Yeah.
And so I figured out how to open the fridge. And in the middle of the night, I couldn't sleep as a kid, so I would like drag the chair to the fridge and eat the peanut butter myself.
So the claw prints are his fingers.
Yeah, and because it was small, and nobody figured it out because nobody thought I would be doing that. Because during the day, like I would just like sit there.
Yeah, we didn't have ghosts. We had a little gremlin over here.
Or
they used to tell us that my grandma's house in Baldwin Park was haunted. They used to tell me, I mean, they always tell you shit when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they used to always say that that we would hear little kids playing. Like, my grandma's room was in a converted garage, and it was like right lined up with one of the bedrooms. And the people that were in the bedroom or in the garage used to always say, like, when they're by themselves, they could hear little kids playing in the other room. And they were always like, what the fuck? They would tell me this shit. So then I would always be sitting there all quiet. And I never heard it until when I was a teenager and we were living there. I had lost my key, so I used to have to jump in through the back window. And I used to always listen because I would knock on the door to see if anybody was home. And then I would go to the back window before I slid it open to like put my ear up. And I could hear like little kids playing. And then I would slide it open and then jump through, and then it was quiet. I was like, what the fuck?
You want to hear another one?
Yeah.
This is from my
Your
my
mom's
cousin,
house?
No, my cousin Isabel, her husband Bert.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Bert. I know Bert
Shout
listens.
out Bert, yeah. He comments, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, he told me a story that when he used to live in a duplex or something with his wife Isabel, my cousin.
Yeah.
And I guess his mother-in-law, my aunt, and her son lived. It was like a duplex. Same thing. They used to share a wall type deal. And he said that one day he was home and it was at night, and he heard a bunch of racket, things being thrown against the wall, this and that. And he basically said to his wife, it sounds like your brother got in trouble. You know, I think your mom's beating the shit out of him, this and that. You know? So you thought it was funny, you know? And he didn't think anything of it. It was midnight or whatever. He went to bed. And in the morning, he got up and then he saw his mother-in-law. And he's like, hey, Doña Lala, it was a long night, right? This and that. She was like, what are you talking about? Weren't you beating Manuel this night?
Weren't you beating Manuel?
Yeah,
what
weren't you doing? And she goes, no, he came in early and we just went to bed and this and that. So he was like, what the hell? What was that? And then, you know, and I guess when they left that apartment or whatever, or that duplex, there was a story about there was 13 or 14 kids that actually died there or something, that somebody had murdered them or something.
Of course.
In the 1920s or something like that there was like a history of people would hear screams and stuff like that. And Bert was like, oh, that's exactly what I heard. I heard people screaming, banging, all kinds of like rackets.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's not good. I mean, he's not superstitious. He just told me that's what I heard, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Lala beating Manuel, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but it's unexplainable stuff. That's what freaks me out.
You know what freaks me out is your mom's house. Mm-hmm. She has like a mansion basically, out in like the fucking desert. Yeah. And so the fucking hallway leading to the sewing room is like a long ass hallway. That shit scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid, dude.
It was like The Shining.
Yeah, dude. I would always in the middle of the night go walking around and shit, you know. And that just the sight of the hallway, because I would sleep like the room next to Gavi's room.
Yeah.
And so like I would just walk down and see the hallway and be like, "Fuck this," and go back to the room I was staying in.
No, yeah, it's pretty scary for a little kid when you see a long hallway like that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fuck long hallways. I don't know how you guys feel about those, but fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And then at my mom's house, I would always see. I talked about this before on the podcast. I told you guys the whole story about the cupboard, how I heard screaming and I would close it and then open it. Mm-hmm. But at my mom's house, I was also never freaked out about this shit. And I didn't go around telling everyone about it. But I would always see like some kind of like shadowy figure going up the stairs because I always slept with my door open. Mm-hmm. And like you could see the stairs from my room. I would always see something coming up the stairs. Wow. But it never fucked with me or anything. I was because also my dad would work all the time. So I would figure it was my dad or something. But it was just always something coming up the stairs.
And you know what they say? Some person told me a long time ago that if you see something or you feel something or just something in the corner of your eye type deal, he goes, it is probably something, but the mistake that people do is they're too inquisitive about it.
Yeah.
And that's when they get like an invitation or something to basically screw with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that's what I said before. Is like I never even entertained that shit.
Yeah,
because
you don't invite that stuff in.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, all my life I've seen things. They're like, oh, what was that and everything, but. I mean, it wasn't changing my life at that point. So what the hell, you know?
You know what I want? I want some kind of UFO fucking site. Like when we were on the freeway the other day. Remember that when it was me, you, and Ryan? We were coming back and we saw this weird ass thing in the sky, and I was just like, we were watching Many Saints of Newark, the worst movie ever made. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a bullshit ass movie.
No. It is.
Yes, it's terrible. Way that's a scary movie. Way
it is.
Yes, because it sucks so bad. Anyways, but we were driving and I saw this fucking big ass like something weird in the sky. And they just kept coming down. And it was like, it was only moving like down. And I was like, oh, this could be my first UFO sighting. What the fuck? And it turned out to be nothing.
Yeah, we couldn't find anything on it. We even looked up. Like, because sometimes, like, you remember when, like, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Rocket, everybody was like,
probably that Pluto.
But yeah, there was nothing, no reports of anything. No one even said, like, they saw something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That shit.
It was fucking weird.
Yeah.
The Elon Musk thing was weird as fuck. Seeing that in the sky.
It feels like they should have announced it beforehand, and then afterwards they're like, "Oh yeah,
by the way,
I shot a rocket."
Yeah.
But what do you expect from a creep?
What are your thoughts on Elon Musk?
He's a creep.
That is weird.
He looks like he's made out of Play-Doh or some shit. Yeah.
He does look like who did he used to remind me of? Like a famous actor, if you like took his face in one of those Photoshop apps and just stretched it.
Yeah.
What, like Tom Cruise or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. There's someone like he looks like, but just stretched out.
Yeah.
I don't like that he tried to get involved with that. Remember all that Vietnamese or
the
Taiwanese thing, and then he told them they were a bunch of what is it, pedophiles or something like that. And all they were doing, they just told them, hey, we don't have time for you to build something. We need to get these kids out.
Oh yeah.
You know?
He was trying to be
and he got all butthurt and he started calling them pedophiles. I was like, what the hell, you know?
It was when the soccer team or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The guy that rescued him was actually concerned about them, you know? Elon was like, in about 3 weeks, I'll have this. And we don't have 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to fucking die.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean.
That dude's weird.
It is.
It's interesting about. I mean, I did talk about this in the last episode, but about not inviting stuff in because I remember the feeling like because I remember I was like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and I was walking outside and I was going downstairs from this apartment and I could see into a parking lot, and through a window I could see like a gremlin. I don't know how to describe it. It was like this little gremlin. It looked like the fool from Honeycomb, the Honeycomb cereal. But like scary version of that. Yeah. And then, but I remember seeing it and like I made eye contact with it and then it was like, but I don't know. There's something in me. There was something like inside of me that's like, just like I didn't tell anybody. I didn't get scared. I didn't even get scared. I was just like, It was weird.
It was probably Spike from the Gremlins. Remember the one with the mohawk?
Yeah.
What's it called? I remember I had a dream when I was a kid. I was at JJ's house. You remember JJ, my homie?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I had a dream that I walked away from my house and went up to JJ's house. But outside of JJ's house was a little caterpillar. Like from, it was around the time James and the Giant Beanstalk came out. The live action one.
James and the Giant Peach?
Thank you. James and the Giant Beanstalk? Are you fucking kidding me?
That is a thing.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk.
Two separate stories.
James and the Giant Peach came out, the movie.
They're both British, I think.
Oh, okay. Then see, I'm smart. So you just proved it. But a little caterpillar was out in front of his house and he came out and he was talking to me in the dream. And I was like, what the fuck? And I hate caterpillars to this day because of this. But he sounded like a demon. He's like, hey, you want to hang out with JJ, huh? I'm like, get the fuck away from me. And I think I killed it in my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
I regret it to this day.
That fool could have been leading you to Spanish gold.
I know.
You
need another beer?
You need to take a time out.
Time out? Fuck.
You're the beer bitch.
I'm the beer bitch? No, I had coffee today.
What do you got? High heels on or what?
I got my docs on.
Yeah.
My boots, homie? What the fuck? I'm gonna do
With your toe up.
with my toe up?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I got you guys drinks.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Hey,
I
you're
said
the
thank
beer
you.
bitch. Relax.
I'm the beer bitch.
Yeah.
Stop calling me that.
I said thank you. I appreciate everything you do.
Anyways,
Remind me to leave a tip.
so I recently got fully vaccinated. I had to wait a week because I was sick.
And that was scary?
No, you know what the scary part was? My fucking uncle told me he had my third shot. What was the third shot?
The penicillin shot.
That's funny. I have a few more stories, but they all end in like logical answers. I had a friend who, for like 2 months, she kept hearing noises, and it led to like her under patio, and it turned out some homeless dude like was living under her house.
Yeah,
for 2 months. It's crazy.
That shit's spooky way.
I was dating this white girl, and she invited me to her friend's house. People that I'd never met, and it was like these rich people in Pasadena.
Yeah,
and like they were all fucking like drinking, and they had already been partying or whatever. But it was like 4 people. And they were like, let's go down into the basement.
Yeah.
And I'm the only fucking brown person. I got like my eyes peeled on everybody. Yeah. And they took me down to the basement. And it just is like it got smaller and smaller the more you went down. And then there's like this little closet and they opened it. And it was like a tunnel. Like into like... It looked like it was going into like a fucking cave or something. And I was like, I'm done here, dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
I can see
leaving.
Dominic.
That's some white
This is how people
shit.
fucking die. Haven't you seen the goddamn movies?
Fuck this shit, dude. I don't trust anywhere where I'm the only brown person.
Yeah.
That's how Paranormal 4 ended.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of white people preying on some Mexican dude.
Yeah.
That shit was funny though. I have... My mom told me a story. My grandfather had a lot of stories on my mom's side. Her dad. And she told me one recently. I don't want to get it wrong, but it was like at night they would hear like footsteps in their basement.
Yeah.
And they would like investigate it. They would hear a bunch of scuffling, and then they would go Was it close?
There you go.
They'd hear scuffling, and then they would like check it out, and they would start to go down the stairs, and then they would hear like approaching footsteps, and they'd run away and go get their dad, who I think at the time he had like a room set up in their garage, and this would happen for like weeks and weeks. And I think if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong, she tells it way better.
Yeah,
this is her story. It like started with like 2 of the siblings, and then they told her dad, my grandfather, and then eventually everyone knew about it, and they told the dad, and they like wouldn't believe it. He wouldn't believe it, so the next time he's like, all right, next time it happens, come get me. So it happened, and they run to the garage to go get him. He's like, he's there, the guy that lives in the basement. And he goes, and it's like a rat that got stuck in a tin can, just like running around the basement. It was really funny.
I'm never gonna tell Ryan I saw something spooky because he's gonna make me feel like an idiot.
This fool every time he's like, it was probably the wind.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't me?
You probably farted, fat ass. No?
My grandma tells us this scary story, right? She was it was when before we were born. My dad and my mom were living at her house, and she was in the backyard. We didn't have a dryer. They had a washing machine, they didn't have a dryer, so they used to hang the clothes in the backyard. And she was like, I was hanging, and then she hears, whoa, like real soft, like whoa, and then she was like, what the fuck? And like she keeps putting clothes up and like doing the line, and then it gets louder. Whoa. She's like, holy shit. And then finally, like, she's about to put up like a bedsheet, and she's like, whoa. And then she just throws everything. She's like, ah! And she runs inside the house and closes it, and she goes inside and is like looking around in the house, and it was my dad in the bathroom. He was blowing it up.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, I've had some shits that were pretty spooky, dude.
Right? I believe it, fool. Yeah. I smelled some of those shits.
Yeah, you know what is scary to me is the smell of other people's shit.
Yeah.
How is that? You can endure your own smell, but when you smell somebody else's shit,
you're agreeing with me, right?
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's genetic.
Really? Is it pheromones or something?
It's like biological.
It's because your own shit, you smell it like it's you. That's how you check if you're healthy. If it smells weird to you, you know. But other people's shit is like repugnant. It's like you need to get the fuck out of here. Like
what?
Yeah, it's
other people do like what crawled up your ass and died. God damn.
I swear to God, smelling other people's shit is the nastiest thing in the world to me, dude.
It's how animals tell like when another animal's been in their territory.
Yeah.
It's how animals tell.
No, I mean I think we heard it, but I could barely hear you.
Yeah.
I gotta fix it. How's this?
You're good, yeah.
Chuck too.
No, but I people that'll take shits at my apartment, I'm not gonna fucking shout you guys out.
Just tag me, fool.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't me?
I'm not gonna shout you guys out right here.
Spray, goddammit, no.
Well, this fool needs to buy some spray.
I have Febreze, fool. You know I have Febreze all over the apartment.
For the bathroom?
No, not for the bathroom, but yeah. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking.
It's for your ass, no.
The Astros versus the Red Sox, right? Mm-hmm. And both those teams beat the Dodgers in the World Series before.
That's the spooky shit right there.
That's the spooky shit. For them to be the ones that we have to face no matter what. Listen, I'm Fat Kershaw. I'm not in the rotation right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I will say that either one of those teams, the Astros, I'm terrified of the Astros. Are you a big baseball fan? Dodgers fan? No? If you don't know that the Astros fucking cheated and beat us.
No, I know about. I know the story.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like, if it comes down to the Astros, they should just not play. They should be like, fuck you.
I was reading that they're still stealing signs or some shit like that. They're still doing it.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. But I'll tell you one thing: we beat the Giants.
Imperial Sloth.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that shit's. I don't know. Either way, we're getting vengeance because I don't think anyone could beat us. But sorry, this is aside from the fucking Halloween thing.
There's nothing spooky about it. The fuck?
Yeah. No, it is spooky, especially if you get stressed out watching the game. It's
stressed out.
Stressed.
Take your shirt.
Shut the fuck up. He wants a high five. Do the Pac-Man sound. You just ate something.
Oh no, that's Mario.
Okay, next question.
Oh, I did have a thing. Sorry, your question.
No, go for it. What are you saying?
I just remembered the thing. My little brother used to freak me out because we would always, growing up, we always shared a room because we were the little ones. And once he hit like puberty, he would do this thing. He wouldn't snore. He would like moan like a mummy, like a vampire coming out of its coffin. Mm-hmm. Like
he was probably jerking off.
No, he was like dead asleep. And there was two things weird about it. Is like sometimes he wouldn't sleep normal. He'd like sleep on his side, but like balanced, like lined up on his side completely straight like this. And he wouldn't fall over like the entire night. And then just like at like 1 a.m, you just hear, like he was gonna fight somebody. It was terrifying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry for streaming into the mic so much. But yeah, it was like every night for like 2 years. Once he hit puberty, it was kind of annoying. But it scared the shit out of me if I didn't remember that he did that. But yeah, it was weird.
No, you know what, dude? I'll admit that I'm probably demented, dude, because I'm a sleepwalker.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
You heard stories.
You are fucking demented, eh?
I'm a sleepwalker. Did I ever sleepwalk at your house whenever I slept over?
No, but You know who did?
Who?
And
Andy?
No, Arturo.
Oh yeah, Arturo.
One time when he slept over.
My cousin Arturo.
Yeah, my nephew Arturo. He came into our bedroom, me and Denise's bedroom, and he just was looking over us when we were asleep. I was like, "What the fuck?"
The fuck?
Yeah,
and picture like the kid from Up. He looks exactly like the kid from Up.
That shit freaked me out. I was like, "What the fuck is
Maybe
this?"
he was trying to lead you to some Spanish gold.
Yeah, right.
No, the freaky shit that your mom used to say about you when you used to go sleepwalk and you used to get the fork and you would say you were hungry or something.
Yeah, I told you guys I would grab a fork and a knife and demand food. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, food.
Does that really seem abnormal for him?
Sleep, yeah. He's got to be awake for that shit.
Sleepwalking is fucked up because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Yeah. I don't have any recollection of sleepwalking. And then there's one time where my mom and dad woke me up and while I was downstairs because I'll always wake up in my bed and the next morning my mom will be pissed at me. I'll be like, what the fuck what's the matter? And she'll be like, you sleptwalk. And I was like, you just want to be mad about something. Yeah. But then when they woke me up in the middle of it and I remember waking up at the kitchen table, I'm like, I'm fucked up, dude. You know?
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't sleepwalk, but I was like restless as a kid, but I was also very small as a kid because I didn't get fat till I was like 12. So I was like very, very small. And I remember the worst times when I was like 6 and 7, I would, no matter where I slept, as long as like there was nothing blocking me, I'd wake up under the coffee table. But so the coffee table, there was the glass table and there was metal framework and it was like this high off the ground. So it was like weird that I ended up under there every night. But like every single time I would end up under that coffee table.
Dude, I would wake up in different positions when I was sleeping in my mom's house growing up as a kid. I would wake up with my legs up the wall like that, just like my legs on the wall and like me laying down. Or like in child's pose, you know, like the yoga pose, child's pose.
Yeah. I just remember something. One time my little brother woke up without his eyebrows.
Was that like a prank or what?
No, we think either he's lying and he shaved his eyebrow, or like he like rubbed up against a wall because the walls in our old bedroom like had what's it called, like texture to it. It was like bumpy and like rough when you would rub against it. Yeah. So like we think that he would like rub against it in his sleep, and then just one day his eyebrow was completely gone.
But imagine waking up in child's pose like you're getting fucked by a demon. You know what I mean? Right?
Something to say, you wake up in positions and be like in doggy style.
That's what child's pose is. You know what child pose is?
No, I don't. I don't want to know.
I'll teach you later.
Cochino.
I had 2 cousins that sleptwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them, he used to go into the kitchen and move chairs around, and I was like looking for shit. And then people would come out and be like, what the fuck are you doing, Andrew? And he was like, I'm looking for the leprechaun. He was looking for a leprechaun every single time.
He was looking for the Lucky Charms. Yeah? He was hungry.
That's the thing I'm always curious about. When you were younger, did you have stories about like when stuff would go missing or whatever, that it was like a creature doing it? Because there's like so what I've heard is like for white people it's elves, it's like house elves. But in Mexico, it's duende. It's like little house fairies. But for some reason, like where we grew up, duende translated to leprechaun because duende have an affinity for gold.
I heard about when I was younger. I heard stories about that, but I personally never had. No.
Yeah. So like the kids that I grew up with didn't say elves; they would say leprechauns instead. Yeah. So that's why I thought my cousin would say that.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, dude. I want to ask.
The only thing that went missing when we were younger was my Nintendo. The neighbors took it. When we went somewhere, they broke in and they took my fucking Nintendo.
The fuck?
And then they invited us to go play, and I was like, "This is my fucking Nintendo."
Blooded fool.
Yeah. That's my high score.
It says Jorge on
That's my Super Mario Brothers, bitch. I was like,
I wanted to ask, what's your guys' favorite costumes you ever dressed up on, or your favorite costumes you ever seen?
I like making costumes. And my favorite year, I think it was like my sophomore or my junior year of high school, I built by myself like a giant robot costume out of cardboard boxes and reflective tape.
Yeah.
And like spray paint. It was really fun. I built a helmet and a huge like, the box was slightly too big for me, so I had to like build suspenders for it. and robot arms with like gloves. I had pictures of it, but I deleted them on accident. Oh. But it was like the dopest costume. I made like robot hands that like I would grab stuff, and I'd walk around doing like sound effects.
Yeah.
I could beatbox at that time. The only thing was like the box was too big for my body. Like, so when I sat down, I would like sink into it. My arms would be up here. So I had to take it off every time I sat down.
What about you, Dominic? Your favorite costume of all time?
I mean, I was pretty proud of Cholo Baggins, fool.
No, this is probably one of the best costumes I've ever seen.
Yeah, Ryan came up with the idea like right before we went shopping, and I was like, this is fucking tight, dude. You got the Lakers, you know, because Kobe's Lord of the Rings, fool. You got everything.
And for people that don't know, you have a ring on your Lakers.
Yeah, it's from, it's from my homegirl Sarai. It's a mood ring, to profess my love.
What mood is it right now?
It's green, so that's good. Green is good.
How do mood rings work?
It's just the heat. I think different.
Does it change colors actually?
Yeah, it was changed from blue to. That means she's fucking listening, dude. She's got the all-seeing eye. She got hitters out here. Be careful.
But yeah, there's like a special metal. I forget how it works. The metal alloy reacts to like the body temperature.
Yeah, it just heats it up.
My favorite costume that I don't know if you remember when my little brother Thomas, he dressed up as Indiana Jones. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And he has a picture of himself. If I find it, I'll put it in the video. I don't know if I have it, but there's a picture of him like pissed off with like a lasso. It's so funny, dude. Yeah, dude.
That's pretty tight.
So you have a bunch of nietos or like what's it called, sobrinos?
Yeah.
What's the best costume you've ever seen, or one that you've dressed up as?
The one that I used to dress up, I was always a clown. Because I was always fat. So nothing ever fit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still am. Yeah. Make the fucking point. Yeah, I still am. But
no, he's not the XL. He wears the same size shirt as I do.
Yeah, I'm losing weight.
I'm gaining it.
You need to get on that fucking diet.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I was chunkier, big old. And my mom made I was always a clown.
Yeah.
The clown, but I was a good clown.
I was a good clown.
But you know what? Clowns freak me out now.
Yeah?
I think clowns are fucking weird.
I like clowns.
Yeah. I don't know. I
don't understand the fear of the clowns.
There's actually an explanation for it. So the idea of a clown is... The original clown is based on the idea of like the town drunk, the town fool. Mm-hmm. So that's why it was like blue lips, and for like more expressive eyes, they would do stuff like to make the eyes look beadier so that it accentuates the way the face moves. But because of all the little tricks they do with their faces, they seem human enough that you register that as a face, but inhuman enough that you don't think it has a soul. So it like always makes people uneasy to look at a clown's face. Yeah. There's like a science behind it.
That's weird. Accident. I never so when I was younger, the first horror movie I ever seen, I don't know if you guys remember yours, but the first horror movie I ever saw when I was a kid, my cousins were over, my Tio Miguel's family was over, and they slept the night, and we watched It part 1 and 2.
The originals?
Yeah. And it was the scariest shit of all time. And my mom was like in the kitchen laughing and it's like like enjoying it. But I've never seen a scary movie until then.
Yeah. Just would she go up to you and be like, "Kiss me, fat boy"?
No, we all said we would all say battery acid all the time afterwards.
I don't remember that movie.
My first one was the Chucky series.
I feel like Chucky was mine too.
Chucky? Yeah. You're talking about Chucky. Chucky's not scary, fool. You just kick that fool.
The whole thing is the idea that you don't suspect the doll. Now the doll is a thing, but before it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got my son and my daughter, we used to do the Blockbuster thing way back when Blockbuster was still a thing.
Yeah.
And I got John Carpenter's Vampire. So I was like, we're gonna watch this movie, and they're like, okay, whatever, Dad, So we're sitting and we're watching. They were probably like 10 and 9 years old, everything, and we watched the whole thing, popcorn, everything, intense. And that day, out of nowhere, we had like a blackout. It was probably like 9 o'clock at night, so it was already nighttime outside, and we had the lights went out in the house completely, and it happened like right when the credits started.
Oh
so
my
all I felt was Heather jump and RJ jump. And boom, they landed both on my lap. They're like, oh, what's going on? They were freaked out.
That's funny.
I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, yeah. It was only for like a minute. The lights came back on.
Yeah.
I remember for a while we were kind of into like it was I feel like the time we grew up, like slasher movies were kind of coming out of their phase, and this was before like they tried to redo Texas Chainsaw. Mm-hmm. So like thriller horror movies were a big thing. So like our two favorite ones were Signs and The Others. Mm-hmm. I think The Others is a really good like thriller. If you've never seen it before, it's like a great intro to suspense movies.
That's the one with Nicole Kidman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great intro to suspense movies, like if you've never seen it before.
Are you mad? I am your daughter.
Did you like Signs?
I love Signs.
It's pretty suspenseful.
I had a funny the reason why I went to go see Signs, I was in Visalia at my Tia Cata's house. Mm-hmm. And so my Tia Cata has 3 sons and 1 daughter. And the sons were just always fighting with each other. The two older ones, Cesar and Carlos, would always get in fights with each other about video games. They were huge. They love fucking video games to this day. That's all I talk to Cesar about. Yeah. I only ever talk to Cesar on fucking PS4.
This is how big I have this the Nintendo Classic thing. Yeah. And Cesarito came over. Well, Cesar.
Yeah.
So you can't call him Lito anymore. That's a big motherfucker. But yeah, he came and he's like, oh, you have Mike Tyson Punch Out? And he go, yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know the code by heart. I was like, she just put in the code. I was like, damn, this guy. Yeah. He's still to this day, he still plays video games.
He's a crazy video gamer, right? So they're getting in a fight. I'm in Claudia's room with my sister, and she locked the door because we all knew they were getting in a fight again. And so Chris was at the computer, but you could hear Carlos and Cesar going at it. And they were fucking, Carlos like to bring out a knife and just like threaten Cesar. They're crazy, right? And he's coming later. But what's it called? So I could hear them screaming at each other. And I'm like, they're watching, my sister and Claudia are watching A Bronx Tale. And I'm like, fuck this stupid ass Robert De Niro movie. I want to listen to the fight, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I have my ear on the door, and all you hear is Carlos go, I hope you don't like fucking Knockout Kings 4 or whatever. And you hear, and he cracks the disc, and that's all you hear. And Claudia was like, hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here, you know? So she's like, you guys want to go to the movies? And I'm like, sure, like, let's go to the movies, go see Signs, right? And then we go to Chris, because Chris is on the computer playing his little video games. And we're like, Chris, you want to go? He was like, no. He loved their fucking fighting. He wanted to stick around for the rest of it. And it's so. And then we went to go see Signs, right? And the scariest fucking movie of all time. But I was like, that was good, you know? Like, I loved it. But when you were a kid, I was in 6th grade when I saw
that alien when he comes out, dude.
Yeah.
And that little Mexican kid is like, it's behind. It's behind. It's behind. Signs is a Mexican movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. How do you say Signs? Señas? Anyways, what's it called?
Señas,
yeah. See, I knew it. I fucking got it.
What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
I told you. It just falls off.
Pac-Man's a Lakers fan.
I have a huge head.
Do the when Pac-Man dies.
I have a question. Well, what were we on?
No, what's your question?
Well, I like a prompt question. Because you were asking about our favorite costume. I was gonna ask, what's your least favorite costume? Like that you've worn. I have a story, but
I don't know.
Chester Cheeto.
No, I think the one that I didn't like the most is I wasn't a big Power Rangers fan when I was a kid, but all my cousins dressed up like Power Rangers, and I was the Blue Ranger, and I just fucking hated it.
I love the Blue Ranger.
Everyone wanted smart. Yeah, when we were little, everyone wanted to be the blue one for some reason. But I remember there's one year that it was a really good costume, and I didn't get. My friend invited me to a Halloween party, and then at the last minute canceled on me, and they were the person I knew at the party, so I couldn't go. And I had this like really dope zombie costume. I bought my dad helped me cut up clothes, and I bought liquid latex, and it came out really good. Yeah, I looked like a victim that I'd gotten run over. Like I made track marks and tire marks on my shirt. It was dope, and I just stayed home and handed out candy, and I was like so pissed.
What about you? Do you have a least favorite?
When I was a kid, we used to. So my elementary school used to do like a Halloween parade where everybody that dressed up could walk around.
Yeah.
And to show off their costumes. But they made a rule one year that it had to be from a book. It could only, because people were bringing fucking knives and monster shit. And they were like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
So it was a rule that you had to be a character from a book. And you had to like, so I fucking made up. So, because I was like, I really wanted to do the parade. So I got like a wizard hat and like glasses and like chains. And it was just not from a book. I just wanted to do the parade. So I was walking around like this in a fucking gown like a wizard, and I put chains on for some reason. And then I was walking, and then there was this girl that I had a crush on. And like as I was doing the parade, we like caught eyes, and I was like, "This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. Why did I even do this? I should have just sat down."
She probably thinks I'm an idiot.
I remember cheating one year because of that rule. I dressed as a Bionicle, and they're like, "It has to be a book character," and I was like,
"There's a comic book."
Yeah, I was like, "There's a comic book that comes with the box."
I got stories about you in baseball.
Go for it. What?
Yeah. He used to be the catcher, and this guy was the delay a game. He would catch the ball, stand up, pick his pants up because it was plumber crack all the time. And when he'd be waiting for the ball, big ass plumber crack. So every time he'd catch the ball, get up, fix himself, and then he'd throw it. You made the game, instead of being an hour, it was 2.5 hours. Just picking your fucking shit up.
It was a show, way. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a show. The plumber crack show. Man.
No, I was second baseman most of but that was like probably Little League.
Yeah, you sucked. Little League, Big League, whatever the fuck you sucked, man.
So when I was in high school, I auditioned to be, I say auditioning, I'm a theater student. I tried out to be a pitcher, right? And the thing about high school is, when you're in middle school, the league, Little League, like the majors or whatever in Little League is a smaller field, right? Mm-hmm. And I would pitch, and I remember the last game I played in for the A's in major fucking Little League, I pitched like 2 innings and I struck out like 3 people. So I was like, I'm a fucking badass pitcher. You know what I mean? Walking around like, hell yeah.
Fat ass Kershaw.
Fat ass Kershaw, dude. And so when I went to the summer camp for baseball in high school, the field gets bigger when you go to high school. It's an actual, regulation size baseball field. And so I was like, let me try pitching. There was a week where we all tried out to pitch or whatever. Right. And so I went to go pitch, and I hit every single batter. I threw the ball straight at people to the point where...
Rest my case. So you would like throw it and it falls halfway.
No, it would hit every single batter. I couldn't throw it to the catcher.
So that baseball camp was the equivalent to the advanced Spanish talking class, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But I threw it fast, but these fools would go up to bat. Eventually, they would just be like... Whenever I would throw the ball, and I hit every single one. I knew
it was coming.
Yeah, when it was just me and the catcher, though, I was able to pitch. But when somebody came in there, I thought they were like the person that was going to catch. I'm gonna get your ass. I didn't even mean to. Wait, I was trying to be a pitcher, but I fucked it up. I hit 7 people back to back, and they were like, "You hold the record for what the
back
fuck?"
to back. They let you go that long? Well, after you hit 2 of them, I would say, "Get the fuck off the mountain." Yeah,
I was fat ass Kershaw, dude.
And now you're just a belly itcher.
Yeah, now you're just a fat ass,
dude. For some reason I'm fucked up in this ranch right now. Do you guys feel fucked up or no?
Fine.
I'm not as bad as last time, but I did take medicine before I showed up.
The fuck
I'm getting like I'm getting like lightheaded and like my breathing pathways.
It's because we got the fans off.
I feel great.
It's kind of warm, man.
Yeah.
We got to go back out.
Anyways, yeah, so that's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching, and thanks for following us on Instagram at Isimo Pod, leaving us a voicemail at 920-474-6644. That's 920-Isimo High. Following us on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and leaving us a review. And yes, what were you going to say?
The sloth guy should leave a voicemail. I want to hear about. I want to hear about his giants.
Imperium Sloth, please leave us a voicemail. Yeah. We have a couple voicemails from the last 2 weeks that we haven't been around, but we don't have headphones for this episode, so we'll do it next week when we come back. Thank you so much to my Uncle Jorge for inviting us over today, and we're about to have a pizza. We're about to have a pizza party, dude.
Yeah. Comment your favorite ghost story.
Yeah,
pizza and beer. What's up next?
Comment your favorite ghost story if you made it this far.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from us at the Isimo Ranch Studios, don't fly.
Bitches. I'm gonna go pee on Norco right now.
You can go piss on Norco.
It's a good marshmallow.